Hello everyone, I'm Lee Hogan and welcome to a brand new week of MXTV. I'm joined as usual by Brendan Bell. Now Belly, we've got a massive week, haven't we?
We sure do, mate. In tonight's show, we'll head back to the USA to have a chat with an old friend of the show and the man behind the success of some of the biggest names in the sport, including Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart and most recently RV himself. Super trainer Alden Baker. Lee takes us onto the sand to show you beginners the best way to ride in the deep stuff. We take it to the edge at the Wildwood Extreme Enduro and we put the Kawasaki KLX 450R through its paces in this week's bike review. Another big show, Hogs. It's going to be a cracker.
You're not wrong, mate. But first up, Robbie Maddison is the man many people call the modern day Evel Knievel. He's the king of massive jumps and always has plenty on the go. Now Belly was at Anaheim Supercross recently and was lucky enough to catch up with the man himself.
Grew up racing motocross. I always love coming to the races and it's hard to kind of fit in, and I'm in Temecula, it's only up the road, so we came up here and checked it out. Brought Cruz, the little boy, to his first Supercross. Meant to get the headphones for him, but I spaced it. But when he was in the womb, I started the 450 next to his mum's belly and she fell into a backflip in the womb, so he's used to it. They got my bike on display here, got the fans hanging off it, pretend they're doing backflips, and did some signing here at DC's pit party and kind of just hanging out, come to support the Aussies and hopefully see 22 up on the blocks. It's a big weekend for us. We're looking to do this online viral campaign where I'll be riding my bike through some amazing places around the world, doing some crazy stunts, through urban settings and all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Plenty on the calendar, and it's going to be a huge year for me. And just a lot of people coming by saying, "Oh, when are you going to jump New Year's again?" But I've had a bit of a break. It's been for due cause. Got the little fella and whatnot. But there's going to be plenty more of that coming, and just fitting it in the schedule is going to be the hard thing. Later on in the year, we're looking at getting the New Year's Eve gig happening again. We've got some crazy plans in the pipeline for this year. We're touring Europe this year, the Crusty Demons. We're doing the Extreme Freestylers tour, so I'm looking forward to that. We're going to also got the Crusty Night of World Records come to Australia this year, so I'm going to be setting the world record long distance jump with Crusty Demons in Australia this year. So I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to getting the record for sure. It's always gnarly when you put yourself on the line, and this year, now to get the record, I'm going to have to go around 400 feet, so it's going to be a fast, big balls to the wall jump. I'm planning on riding the CRF 450. I've been riding the bike lately and I love it. Now I've got factory mechanic to get the speed there, and apparently it's going to be no problem to find 120, 130 mile an hour out of it. So jumping at around 200 kilometers an hour, it's going to get me well over 400 feet. And furthest jump I've done is 378, and I felt the bike start to kind of just go in the wind like a leaf does, it wasn't cutting through the wind. So we need to work out how to keep it straight, and it's gone a little bit beyond just throwing some moose tubes in it and throwing some weights on the rims. We really need to work out whether the wheels need motors or a harmonic balancer in the bike or something to just keep it tracking straight. Who knows, maybe even a wing and some aerodynamics. It's a death game at the moment. Going to these distances, if something goes wrong, it's big trouble. And for me, I'm a bit of a skinny guy, a bit like Carl Barron, so I need to work out how I can perfect it. I don't want to crash at that speed, so that's why I'm thinking about aerodynamics and changing the bike. It's a good tool, but I've been a nutcase my whole life. Growing up, I used to walk in the hospital, everyone knew me first name basis, and I had a file as long as your arm. And now it's got to the point where every crash I look at it's like a learning curve. You crash, you get injured, but while you're healing yourself, it's time to realise what you did wrong and how you can improve it. And I've had so many injuries, I'm getting pretty wise in my old age. I'm going to realise that you can keep banging your head against the wall, and first time bit it's a shark's fault, second time it's your own. So I'm trying to just put all that kind of theory into how I can make the jumps better. And when I sit down and look at it, physics tells me, just basic general knowledge tells me that we're only scratching the surface for how far a dirt bike can fly, and I plan to fly in it a long, long way pretty soon.
Yeah, big thanks to Matto there. A great bloke and certainly a man who knows how to take it to the extreme, that's for sure. Much like the riders that recently tackled the Wildwood Extreme Enduro, a 3-hour test of man and machine, and let's take a look at what it was all about.
The thing with these sort of races is more survival than anything.
I don't really know what it's going to be like out there. It's going to be a long, 3 hours around one of these tracks. I've never seen anything like that.
We've got Erzberg, we've got the last man standing, but Australia just hasn't got that edge.
Someone said it was going to be a good idea to punish your bike and body, so I wasn't doing anything else this Sunday, so I thought I'd come out and give it a go. I enjoy sort of challenging myself a little bit. I'm not right into the massive jumps or real fast stuff. I like this technical sort of stuff, but I mean, it can only help, I guess. Any help's going to be worth it today, I think. It's going to be pretty tough, yeah.
Pretty gnarly. It'll be interesting. It'll be good to see how it works out. After the first lap, we'll have a bit more of an idea.
We've got the hill climbs, hitting rocks, logs, water crossings, you name it. It's all here and ready for them to give it a go. 13.5 kilometre loop, which a good rider should do in about 30 minutes. So the expectation of the finish rate for this race is probably very minimal. You know, spectators, they're going to see a lot of people pushing their bike up the hills. It's all about getting those riders out there to chase that 10 grand prize that I've put on the line.
The organisers have done a great job on the course. There's going to be some carnage, that's for sure. There's guys ripping off foot pegs. I've seen moose tyres pop off rims, and I'm just like glad it's not me. And I'm hoping to see some crashes, I guess, and hoping no one gets hurt, and just see some good, crowd pleasers. There's guys going over the bars everywhere, and whiskey throttles and stuff. So as long as everyone stays safe.
There's thistles everywhere and rocks and a lot of hidden dangerous spots. I mean, you've got to survive 3 hours and you're not going to win it in the first lap. So my plan is just to sort of try and tag behind the big boys. The toughest man's going to win, I think. I think Merriman will be pretty hard to catch though.
Anything can happen, and there's a lot of guys out there that are fast, and it's a lot of the time going to be dodging other people too. So the motocross riders have a little bit of an edge over me, and that's the type of thing, because enduro, you're not racing against other people. That's the hardest part, trying to dodge other guys out there.
This is probably the second extreme event I've ever done, and it's quite a bit different than riding around an arena in Vegas. So we'll just have to take it as it comes.
It'd be great for the spectators here watching, and also the riders. Like, they'll be having fun crashing in front of the spectators and making it real fun, exciting.
I've never really had an extreme enduro like this on a dirt bike, but I used to ride trials. I did that for 3 or 4 years as a little fella. I think that's going to help a little bit. Just the sort of skills and knowledge, and you get from trials, how to get traction, all that kind of thing could help. Although I didn't go too well in prologue. I didn't find too much traction, but yeah, no, it's all pretty good.
Everything's about momentum and getting up obstacles rather than trying to jump them or, sound like you're going fast. So finesse is probably the best way to attack it, I guess.